All right, we're about to dive into a skill that is so fundamental, it's basically a superpower for your mind. And here's the secret. It's not about having all the answers. It's about getting really, really good at asking the right questions.
So let me just ask you this straight up. What's the single most powerful tool you already own? I'll give you a hint. It's not your smartphone. It's not your computer. It's something you've had with you from day one.
That's it, your ability to question. And we're not just talking about an action here. Think of it as a tool, an engine. And as we're going to see, it's the very foundation of genuine, independent thought.
Okay, so let's get into it. What do we actually mean when we talk about this superpower of questioning? Let's define it.
The source material calls this intellectual agency. And this is key. It's not just about asking about things you don't know. It's about actively interrogating the things you think you do know. It's about poking holes in certainty. It's making that shift from being a passive sponge for information to being an active builder of your own understanding.
And when you do that, well, it's completely transformative. It's what the source calls the engine of autonomy and enlightenment. This is the skill that gives you the power, the confidence, to challenge an idea or an authority when it just doesn't line up with the truth.
But where does this whole process even begin? What's that initial spark that ignites this incredibly powerful engine of inquiry? Let's take a look.
So here's the thing. Great questions don't just pop out of nowhere. They are fueled by this really potent combination of three things inside of us. First up, you've got curiosity. That's the raw emotional energy that makes us want to explore. Then there's doubt, which is this crucial tool that stops us from just jumping to the easiest conclusion. And finally, it's about recognizing the gaps in our knowledge and turning that ignorance into a roadmap for discovery.
I love this quote. Curiosity disrupts complacency. That's exactly what it does. It's the little voice in your head that says, wait a second, is that really all there is to it? It's the force that keeps you digging, even when the answers aren't easy to find.
Okay, so we've got the spark. We're feeling curious. Now, what about the actual practical tools? It's time to open up the questioner's toolkit.
One of the most powerful tools in history is, of course, the Socratic method. And let's be clear, this is not about winning a debate or proving someone wrong. It's a team sport. It's a way to discover the truth together. So instead of saying, you're wrong, you might ask, okay, so if you believe X is true, how does that fit with this other fact, Y? Help me understand how those two things work together. See, it gently surfaces the cracks in an argument and draws the understanding out, instead of just trying to force it in.
It is also absolutely crucial to know what kind of question you're asking. Think of it like this. On one hand, you have leading questions. They're like a funnel. They're actually a trap, designed to steer someone toward the answer you want. On the other hand, you have open-ended questions. Those are like a key. They don't steer, they unlock. They open up the conversation to creativity and much deeper thinking.
And sometimes, the most powerful tool in the entire kit is just one simple three-letter word.
Yep, the word why is a total game changer. As the source explains, it's because it completely bypasses all the surface-level stuff and it drills right down to the deepest layers of thinking. It forces us to confront the core of our beliefs. Why did this happen? What was the motivation? How can we justify this? It gets to the very foundation of an idea.
But here's the thing. Having the right tools isn't quite enough. You also need the right mindset to use them effectively. This goes way beyond just technique. It's about your whole approach to figuring out what's real. A huge part of this mindset is skepticism, but it's a very specific, balanced skepticism. It's about keeping a little critical distance, It's about saying, show me the evidence. This protects us from just believing anything we hear. But you have to be careful, right? Because if it goes too far, it turns into cynicism. And cynicism is a dead end. It just assumes bad faith and closes doors. Healthy skepticism just asks for the keys to open them. And this all leads to a really crucial point. The commitment to seeking truth is described as the moral backbone of intellectual life. It means your primary goal is to align what you believe with what's actually real, even if that means you have to unlearn something you've believed for a long, long time. It's all about intellectual honesty. So, after all this work, the curiosity, the doubt, using the right tools, having the right mindset, what's the end game? What is the ultimate payoff for mastering this art of questioning?
The reward isn't just a bigger pile of facts. That's just trivia night stuff. The real goal is achieving true understanding. This is so much deeper. It's that state where you don't just know what something is, but you get how it works, how it connects to other things, and what its real implications are.
The source has a perfect name for this sweet spot, the zone of inquiry. Think of it like being at the gym. It's that perfect weight where you're challenged, but not totally overwhelmed. It's that space just outside your comfort zone where the real growth, the real transformation actually happens. In this zone, questions feel like an amazing opportunity, not a threat.
And here's the most beautiful part of this whole thing. The result of a great question isn't a final answer, a period at the end of a sentence. No way. Instead, the answers you find just expand your world and give you the ability to ask even better, more interesting questions. It's a virtuous cycle. It's always a renewed beginning.
So, I'll leave you with this. I'll turn the question back to you. With everything we've just talked about, what is one assumption, just one thing you take for granted, that you are going to choose to challenge today?